back to duty calls.
What are we doing today? Why you got your computer here?
Well, today we're doing something a little different. We're going to do what we're calling clip breakdown, I guess,
Okay.
for lack of a better term. So I've got my laptop here today, and basically what we're going to do is we're going to look over some of our old septic installation videos.
Yeah.
And Cole here is going to explain what's going on, so I'm just going to hang out and make sure this all goes smoothly.
You're gonna be the operator here, so.
So let's see here. Let me get.
Is this one the first video that you made, or the first one that we filmed, or second, or?
So this one isn't the first one that we filmed, or that I filmed.
Okay.
The first one, it was like a 4-day process.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I didn't need to be out there all day for the 4 days, but
Yeah.
I thought I did.
That was a bigger job too, so.
This one is like 4 or 5 in, I think. Like,
Okay.
really after we got the hang of the equipment, and I actually learned how to fly a drone. So,
So this one is titled the Infiltrator Full Septic System Install, and it was right here locally in Saline County. 2 years ago? Going on 2 years ago now, or a year and a half ago.
something like that.
I think it was early. Yeah, about 2 years ago. So we put in a 1,500 gallon Infiltrator IM 1530 septic tank, and then we backfilled it with gravel, and we from there flowed gravity to a conventional, we call it a conventional gravel and perforated pipe absorption field. So we can kind of go over that.
Yeah, without further ado, I will start the video, and you guys will definitely see what we're talking about too.
Yeah.
So
let's
first
watch.
starting clip here.
You love those clips.
Okay, slow-mos are fun. Okay?
You love those. So.
They are a lot of fun. They're one of my favorites. We'll dig in the hole for the tank.
Yep, digging the hole for the tank. With the Infiltrator tank specifically, we over-excavate about 2 to 2.5 foot around all 4 sides of the tank. And we do that for 2 reasons. So we'll pause that. Yeah. So we do that for 2 reasons. Number one, so we have enough room to set the tank and work within the trench that we're setting the tank. But then also number 2, Infiltrator has specific backfilling procedures, and we backfill with gravel when soil conditions don't allow for proper compaction around the tank. So we backfill with gravel, and that's what this next clip's going to be. But when we don't have to use gravel, then we'll compact the soil in 6 to 12 inch lifts all the way around the tank as we're backfilling. So it takes a little bit longer to do with the backfilling, with the compaction, but we get much more. It's a lot better for structural support around the tank. It's also Infiltrator specific requirements, so in order to not void any warranties, that's what we have to do. In this case, though, we used gravel. We had where the tank sat, at least, we had a lot of clay soils, and clay expands and contracts with moisture content and weather and season changes, and so we can't get as good of a compaction with the clay as we can. The gravel basically takes the place. So
Okay, and I'll start this again, another slow-mo. They're just really fun to watch.
Yeah, so here we're dumping some gravel in. It's the same gravel that we use in our drain field, so it's a quartzite stone between 3/4 and 1 inch approximately, and it's washed. And then we put about 2.5 to 3.5 inches of base in the tank. So we over excavate about 2.5, 3 inches. And then we'll set the tank in, and then after we get the tank in and hooked up, we'll backfill all the way around at least the first half of the tank, the bottom half of the tank, with gravel.
Okay.
So, and that's us raking it out right now. We want to make sure we have a near perfect level base that we can set that tank in, or set it on. There's us setting the tank in the ground. Yeah, so it's the Infiltrator 1,500 gallon tank. We're using our excavator, and then we're setting it in there slowly. It kind of rocks a little bit, but
it was kind of windy that day too.
It was windy.
I wanted to have the drone, but I didn't want it to like fly into a tree or something.
And we 2 guys can pick up those tanks, as you can see right here. You can pick up those tanks, and we've got our digital level there, and we check both horizontally and vertically with the tank to make sure that it's we want it as close to level as absolutely possible. As long as it's under a 0.5% in either direction, that's typically acceptable by our sanitarians. Other places may be a little bit more strict or a little less strict, but we shoot for zero point 0.0 reading on that level every tank that we set. And sometimes it requires rocking it around just a little bit to get it perfectly level. And then once it's there, we're good to go. So, yeah, so on the Infiltrator tanks, they actually have, for the inlet and the outlet, they have 6 combined holes that are, well, they're not drilled, but they have six different locations that you can run the sewer line from the house or the building into the tank, and then the effluent line going to the absorption field out of the tank. And it allows for a lot more flexibility on the installation side. We can set the tank maybe at different angles instead of coming straight in from the inlet and straight out on the outlet like we have to do with our concrete tanks. In this case, we were able to come straight in, but we have used the side inlet and outlet ports in the past. So it requires us to drill the hole. They've got marks on them to make sure that we're at the right elevation. And then they've got that rubber gasket, and then we stick our PVC in that rubber gasket. And it can be really, really tight. So, and there we are gluing up. I think that was actually the outlet side. I think that's the effluent line.
Do you want me to keep going or pause this again?
So this is definitely the effluent side, but this kind of shows what we're talking about when we're dumping the gravel, backfilling around that tank to provide a little bit more structural support as compared to some of that clay soil. More slow-mos.
Okay, you can't tell me that it doesn't look cool.
It does. So, also, I want to stop this real quick. Those teeth on that bucket, so this is a 36-inch wide bucket. It's a bobcat bucket, but we replaced the teeth. We had just your traditional straight teeth on there. And shout out to Stacy Creech with Creech's Plumbing. Those teeth make it 1,000 times easier to get a level base without digging as much, without ripping into the soil. They're wider. They're like a flared or a flange teeth, or tooth. They just make it so much easier. When the soil allows for it, those are my go-to. Sometimes we get into some really hard stuff to dig in, and they don't work nearly as well. But when it comes to leveling things out, or making sure you have a level trench, they are fantastic. So we don't change them out on that bucket. If we need digging power or cutting power with the teeth, we'll just use our 2-foot bucket, which has our regular ripping teeth on there. But these teeth are fantastic for getting that nice, flat, smooth, level base, and takes away or removes a lot of the hand raking that we have to do.
Keep it going again. Oh, see, it's not slow-mo.
No, this time it's sped up. So this... Yeah, so we'll stop there. So what we're doing is we're excavating the trench for the absorption field. This trench specifically, you can see the paint on the left-hand side that the track loader is driving over, or is kind of parked on. We're doing 2 6-foot wide, and I believe these were 75-foot long each. I think they were right. 75. They may have been like 85 or 90 feet. We weren't able to get quite the whole 100 feet. But we are digging 2 6-foot wide trenches. Typical standard trench configuration is 3-foot wide for us around here. But when we have width or length requirements or setback distances, the requirements for the setback distances that we have to get, we will go to 6-foot wide trenches. It's the same concept, I guess. It's just twice as wide as your standard configuration. It's on a site-by-site basis. We use the same amount of material when it comes to gravel and things like that. So it does go a little bit quicker, I think, from the installation side, but it's site-specific. We will automatically assume that we're going to put in 3-foot wide trenches unless otherwise we can't. So anyways, yeah. And so what we do is we excavate the trench, we rake it out, we check grade, make sure that it's level from start to finish, and then as you see, we're dumping in gravel. For standard trench configuration, we have 12 inches of gravel. total around a 4-inch perforated PVC pipe. And we make sure that the trench is level and we make sure that the pipe's level so that there's no specific area within the trench that may be taking more water or not allowing water to move further on down the trench. So what we do is we'll go in, we'll dump 6 inches of gravel approximately in the trench. We'll, lay our pipe down and then we'll check level on that pipe. And then we'll come in and you can see the track loader up front at the start of the trench. It's laying in that gravel. So we'll put 6 inches below the pipe and then 6 inches around, and then it equates to about 2 inches above the pipe, and we rake all of that smooth. And then at the end of the line here, we're putting in a clean out or an inspection port. That way we can check to make sure that the water is getting to the lines, or if it's surfacing, or if there's any issues, you have access to it, and you can see where the level of water may have been in the past or something. So
okay, I'm gonna
keep going.
All right.
So that's my dad out there putting that clean out in. I'm raking, and that's Sheldon walking into the trench, it looks like. So he's going to help me. So yeah, there's the rake. We try and get it as level as possible. We'll probe various sections of the trench to make sure that we have at least 12 inches throughout the entire trench. And there we are, running a layer of fabric, and it's just a thin layer that we cover the trench with. It provides a separation between the soil and the gravel so that the soil, when it gets wet, it doesn't settle into the void spaces in the gravel and end up choking off the system. And that's with both trenches done. And there's us backfilling. So we bedded and backfilled the sewer line. Well, we bedded the sewer line just with native soil, and then we're going in and we're backfilling it there. Or not the sewer line, the effluent line going to the field. We just kind of walk the dirt in, and then back drag as necessary. There we've got both machines backfilling the trenches, and we're just kind of just covering them up, just walking that soil in. I drag it with the excavator, and then we'll just kind of just walk it in.
I was just thinking I probably could have left the music on this.
No.
At least for today.
Yeah. So trying to clean up the edges. Sometimes we have a little bit extra soil, especially using around the tank, especially using the gravel. We remove that soil from going back in the ground. So when that's the case, we pile it up near the excavation site, and then when we come back and finish grade and Harley rake everything, we can use that to fill in any void spaces or any low spots or anything. So
this has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but I can definitely see that this is one of my first times with the drone.
Things are tricky. It takes a lot of practice to get good with them.
I mean, I've gotten a little better, but I'm over here just judging my work right now. But it's fine. It's not.
Did we
bad.
click like the follow mode or something?
I think so. Wow,
So
that's come a long way too.
that's the end of the video. So anyways, we trenched out. We started where the old tank was. So the reason we replaced that system or installed that system was the old tank was, I want to say, like 50 years old.
It was something.
It was
like
in the
that,
70s or something like that. So 45, 50 years old. It was a concrete tank. It was what we call a clamshell design, which is where there's two pieces to the tank. You have a bottom half and you have a top half. And one of the sidewalls was pushing in. It was also very deep. I think it was like 4.5 feet to the cover of the tank. So going out to the old field, it doesn't look like they ever stepped it down or anything. They went a lot deeper than they had to. And water was coming back into the tank from the field. And so what we did instead was we installed the new tank at a much shallower elevation. I think we were only 12 inches of cover, I think was all that we had. So we connected to the sewer line coming out of the house. We replaced it from the house, from the foundation out. It was about 15 feet, I think. And then set the new tank. And then we went back to the, I think it was to the northeast of where the tank was. And there was a lot of slope coming down from that point. So the tank was at a much higher elevation than the absorption field was. And we stepped it down going to the tank or to the field. and then we trenched, I think it was like 60 or 80 feet to get to the field. We set the level manifold pipe, and then we connected the two actual lines, the absorption lines, off of that manifold. So 60 or 6 feet by 75, I think, what was it, 600 square feet approximately? Is that what that sounds like? No, 75 times, it'd be 900 square feet. So it was a 1,500 gallon tank and 900 square feet of total trench bottom area. So, and that was, I believe, the minimum requirements by the county after we did a soil profile test. So, anyways, that was the video.
Yeah, if it goes well or editing goes well, I'd like to keep doing this. I think it's fun.
Yeah.
Kind of switches things up.
You need
a
to make
little
some more
bit.
videos, actually.
Well, I do. It's been cold.
Yes, it has. It has. It's not as fun to be outside right now.
No, especially if I'm not, actually doing manual labor. I'm just
Well, we can
standing
give you
there.
a shovel. I'll take the camera
No.
duties, and you can have the shovel.
No, you won't.
Are you sure?
I've seen how you take pictures. No,
I'm not
kidding.
as good, so.
No, you can be. No, I don't like just standing out in the cold if I don't have to.
Yeah, that's fair.
But
That's fair.
anyways, yeah, hopefully this goes well in editing and hopefully we can keep doing this. Otherwise, do we have an idea for an upcoming video?
I think weather's supposed to get really nice here next week. I
Yeah.
think next week or maybe the week after, I think we should do a walkthrough. So we'll be transitioning from running our winter solution for our portable restrooms to our summer solution. And I think we could probably get a pretty good video on like a step-by-step process. So it'll be like duty calls, but we'll be outside, maybe not sitting here.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Or we can do it and then do the clip breakdown
Like
in
what
here.
we're doing today.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly how we clean our portable restrooms. We pride ourselves on having the cleanest portable restrooms possible. It's it's a lot of work, but we take a lot of pride in how well we clean our units or how well we try to clean our units. So I think we should probably go over that now that we're going to be in the 60s and 70s next week instead of the 20s that it is
Fingers crossed.
today.
I don't trust
I think
the
it was
weather.
5 degrees this morning or something. So
Yeah, the low was like 9, I thought. I don't know. Regardless, it was cold and I'm done with it. I'm ready for the summer.
hey, this week's spring break, so we should get ready for spring.
Hopefully.
Yes.
We'll see.
Yes. So, anyways, thanks for watching. If you have any questions at all, please ask them. Please like, share, comment on the video. We really appreciate it. It helps us out a lot. So, thank you.
Thank you, and we'll see you again next week.
See ya.